It's over. Bambi and Sierra drop receipts that could end Kirk's career. Atlanta was buzzing, and the air was thick with tension, not the kind you get from everyday gossip, but the type that changes everything. For years, Kirk Frost had built an image of himself as the savvy businessman, reality TV veteran, and, despite his messy past, a man who knew how to keep himself afloat in the stormy waters of love and hip-hop drama. But this time, the storm wasn't something he could sail through with a half-hearted apology or a few Instagram posts. This time, the thunder came from two women who had been quietly holding back, until now. Bambi and Sierra weren't new to drama, both had their own battles, betrayals, and reality TV headlines. But when they showed up together, posting a cryptic, "It's time," on their Instagram stories, fans knew something big was about to drop. What followed would shake the LHHATL world to its core. The calm before the digital storm. It started with whispers, unverified screenshots floating around fan pages, DMs being, accidentally, leaked, and a few shady subtweets. But Bambi and Sierra weren't just throwing hints for clout. They had receipts, real, tangible proof of what they claimed was Kirk's latest scandal, and from the sound of it, this wasn't just about cheating or bad business. In a live stream that quickly went viral, Bambi leaned into the camera, her tone calm but heavy with meaning. "I told y'all, I'm not the one to speak on something unless I know I can back it up. And trust me, this is backed up. Screenshots, voice notes, paperwork, everything." Sierra, sitting beside her, crossed her arms and nodded slowly. "We've been watching this man play in people's faces for years. He's manipulated, lied, and tried to turn women against each other. But when you mess with our money and our families, it's over." The receipts that could end a career. Within minutes, they started dropping the evidence on screen. The first slide, a string of text messages allegedly between Kirk and an unknown woman. The timestamps showed messages as recent as last week. In the screenshots, Kirk was allegedly making shady side deals, promising incentives for someone to stay quiet about a situation he wasn't ready to make public. But that was just the beginning. Bambi pulled up what she called the big one, a scanned contract with Kirk's signature, showing a business agreement that apparently diverted funds from a joint venture without the other party's consent. Sierra jumped in to explain that the venture was tied to an event that multiple LHHATL cast members had invested in. "This ain't just messy, it's illegal," Sierra said, her voice sharp. "This man's been playing with people's livelihoods, and we got the proof right here." The internet reacts. The live had barely ended when #It'sOverKirk started trending on Twitter. Memes flooded Instagram. Fans split into two camps. Those who were ready to cancel Kirk on the spot, and those demanding to see everything before making a judgment. Some die-hard supporters of Rasheeda, Kirk's longtime partner, began flooding her comments with questions. "Sis, did you know? And, why are you still standing by him?" Others warned Bambi and Sierra about legal trouble, claiming they might face lawsuits for exposing private business documents. But the pair didn't seem worried. In fact, they doubled down. Why now? Critics wondered why Bambi and Sierra had waited so long to drop these receipts. Was it revenge, a publicity stunt, or something deeper? Bambi addressed it directly in a follow-up post. "We've both been silent for too long because we thought it was better to handle things behind closed doors. But when you're dealing with someone who thrives in the shadows, keeping quiet only helps them. So now, we're putting light on everything." Sierra hinted that there had been multiple attempts to resolve things privately, but each time, Kirk allegedly found a way to twist the narrative and make the women look like they were just bitter. "You can't call this bitterness when we got bank statements and voice recordings," she added. Rasheeda's silence speaks volumes. One of the most shocking elements of this saga was Rasheeda's silence. Fans expected her to speak up immediately, but instead, she posted a smiling photo in a boutique, captioned, "Focused on what matters to hearts." The comments section exploded with speculation. Was she ignoring the drama, or was this her way of showing she was unbothered? Some insiders claimed Rasheeda had already seen the receipts before they went public and was handling it privately, while others believed she was done defending Kirk and letting the situation play out without her interference. The fallout. By the second day of the scandal, Kirk's endorsement deals started to show cracks. One local Atlanta event removed his name from their lineup, citing recent developments. Several cast members from LHHATL unfollowed him on Instagram. A gossip blog even reported that production for the next season was reconsidering his storyline, given the controversy. Meanwhile, Bambi and Ciara promised there was more to come. They hinted at another live session, one that would clear up the lies and make sure nobody can spin this. Fans were already pulling popcorn emojis out in anticipation. Kirk's response. On the third day, Kirk finally broke his silence with a statement on his Instagram stories. "Y'all believe anything when it comes from the right mouth and the wrong heart. I see the lies, and I see the clout chasing. My team is handling this, and trust, it's not what it seems. Stay tuned." But instead of calming things down, his statement seemed to fan the flames. The comments filled up with people saying things like, "If it's not true, drop your receipts." Others accused him of playing the victim yet again. The bigger picture. For fans who had followed the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast for years, this felt like the final crack in a foundation that had been shaky for a long time. Kirk's reputation had survived cheating scandals, public arguments, and questionable business decisions before, but this had paper trails, dates, signatures, and recordings. It wasn't just about whether he cheated or lied. This time, it was about trust, money, and legality. And in the world of reality TV, those stakes are often harder to recover from than personal drama. What's next? Bambi and Ciara hinted that the next drop would be even uglier, and that people ain't ready for the truth that's coming. Meanwhile, insiders say Kirk has been meeting with lawyers and damage control specialists to figure out his next move. One thing is certain: whether or not Kirk can save his career, the public perception has shifted. Fans who once shrugged off his scandals are now demanding accountability, and in the court of public opinion, those demands can be louder than any official verdict. As Ciara put it at the end of their viral live, "This isn't about revenge, it's about the truth. And when you live a lie for too long, eventually, somebody's gonna pull your mask off." Well, consider it pulled. The drama isn't over, but for Kirk Frost, the era of skating past the storm might be.